the favor of Space Station.
It certainly looks that way for sure. I mean, we try and break down maps into like what are the character traits, you know, from them. Like Border tends to be very aggressive and all about like how the attackers can deal with like the entries and whatnot. Clubhouse is all about strategy, execution, and it's something where I feel like SSG, they are definitely the favorite team between these two squads. Arbiter Bands, of course, can change things a little bit depending on what happens. Space Station are paying high respects towards Newers by taking Iana off the board. And sure, it's, you know, it's the gun of the ARXG36C, it's the grenades, etc. But the nades is the big thing, because typically you play Iana and Sledge to have 4 nades on attack. If you want 4 grenades now, you gotta play Sledge and Nuke, or you're forcing yourself into that cursed operator of glass with grenades like I mentioned on Border that you probably don't want to go to. But then you got SSG who loves to play the Nuke and do it on Border anyway. So like I feel like this is a very smart ban from Space Station. Kite follows up from them. NorXG, they answered back by saying goodbye Hibana and goodbye Fenrir. If you're RXG, I think you want a couple of rounds on the board here as quickly as possible, given that you lost the first map, obviously. Attacking on Clubhouse is one of those, it's really easy if you're good at it, and it's really difficult if you're not. Because I feel like, from my side at least, it's always up to the attackers. Like, if you can execute correctly, you should be winning the majority of your attacking rounds, because strategically, there are so many ways to break apart the defense. Whereas on a lot of maps, that's not the case, right? When we look at stuff like Theme Park or Villa, it is so difficult to really find anything that you can do of value. On Clubhouse though, tons of opportunities always every single round. Basement is where things start off. You know, Space Station is an org, they have this good old strat that they created back in the day, the SSG basement roam. It's not gonna happen this round probably. It's like the castle, the mute, the mossy, you know, we see it all the time, even nowadays still. What we see more of in present time of Clubhouse is the Mirror, the Bandit. Somehow, someway, Bandit wasn't played in Pro League for like 2 years straight. And then this season, people said, yeah, let's change that. We see Bandit played by a majority of teams across EU, NA, APAC, and Brazil. And to pretty good success. Bandit tricking, denying walls, protecting mirror windows, making it hard for attackers to breach anything open. Let's see how they can deal with it.
You see Ashen going for a run out from the strip hallway to start things off. So, like I said, a lot of momentum favoring Space Station, and Ashen once again playing in the middle of main stairs on the landing. He's just going to miss the rotation there of Yaga, recollecting a drone, and the entry topside for Oxygen will now be well aware of Ashen's position. On the Wamai as well, with 3 magnets in his back pocket as well, so a lot of utility still at Ashen's disposal. Has played it a little safer now and retreated towards main stairs to get back towards the bomb site. One operator that seemed to be a thorn in the side for Oxygen is this Azami coming out from hot and cold, as Ashen couldn't buy a way away from the hot and cold there. He's trying to put the Kiba barrier down, but it was a hurdle and a thorn in the side for Oxygen trying to dismantle on Border. Doesn't get banned away here, which means that CCTV, which is an objective on this map that has fallen away from constant play and religious play, it is more of an off pick now. It's going to be a little more, it's going to be a little easier to be able to defend inside of garage rafters and CCTV with that Azami still up.
Oh, it absolutely is going to be. Surprised to start at basement in one way, but another I'm not, because it just really tests the opponent's problem-solving skills, and it often becomes like that, like 5 versus side, bomb side, execute. So far, so good for the defenders though. 1 minute 20 seconds left. Some soft destruction started from Fox in the kitchen hallway, and Drano fishing with a C4 downstairs, just waiting for the right time here. Fox has to play this very cautiously. If the attackers lose the buck, sure they got the sledge, but it's even hard to break the floor apart with the C4 below you.
And see for Oxygen, this is very slow moving here in terms of getting some progress done. No Hibana means that opening up hatches is going to be slightly more difficult. Not sure if that was a nitro cell that was attempted to be thrown by Forrest, but nonetheless, it does not land. That is a nitro cell, actually, that went towards the ceiling and dropped with 60 health off of Yaga, so it all works out in the end. The utility still converts, but the ace charges, the Selma is being bandit tricked off of the church wall with a mirror window still fresh on it. This is a very tough spot to be in for Oxygen, just no avenues towards the bomb site that have been opened up. everyone on the defensive space station seems to be very comfortable in their positions. 23 seconds tick away. Fox will try and push his way in against an M590, a shotgun that has been a lot of trouble for the players so far. It's 2, make it 3 quick kills for space station. All 4 now, and it's just Fox, who was the last man standing inside of dirt trying to push out with a skeleton key. But instead, it's the ITA short. So we've had a myriad of shotguns in this round, but it's J90 and space station that win it out.
And it's a solid round. And again, the Bandit really made a huge difference there. And the big thing really worth noting here is they keep it buried off the third wall on the church wall. So normally there's like the hard wall, the middle wall with the mirror window, and then a soft wall with like holes in it. But they keep it off the soft wall, which meant that the attackers couldn't just bounce a grenade off the wall in towards the Bandit and stop him from tricking. They had to just like throw out an EMP, throw a Selma, hope Bandit wasn't there, but he was. And that's what I mean when I say that if you're a really good attacking team, you can deal with any problem that comes your way. But XG, they were very sloppy / lazy / slow in that round. Didn't deal the Bandit correctly, didn't drone it out, didn't really to use all of their utility, and they were forced into a blue hatch drop rush while being in a toxic bait from smoke. It was just not pretty, not at all. And it's not how they want to start things off. I want to see some more structure from them in the second round, because Bandit's on the menu once more, Forest playing that same operator, but this time on CCTV. The bomb set that you mentioned doesn't get played all that much, depending on when you ask that question. Lately, we started seeing it a bit in regions like Brazil. Haven't seen it all that much in North America at this stage though. But Bandit is one of those stable operators. It just slows down the attackers. The goal here is not for Bandit to necessarily trick the exothermic charge, it's simply to waste time so that Thermite can just sprint towards the building, rappel up, breach the wall in 20 seconds. Now, you gotta drone it, you see a Bandit. Okay, I need help now. Need a Sophia stun to the drone hole to stop the Bandit from tricking, and it's gonna buy you time, it's gonna buy you. So look at this, Sophia stun goes in. Boop. Now they know Bandit isn't there. Bandit then came back to try and fake it out. There's no time. Thermite charge goes off successfully. They get the wall opened up. What did it cost them? It cost them 2 Sophia stuns, a full minute, and 2 drones. So just by playing Bandit, you get all of that value. That's the goal with the Bandit, not to actually trick the wall itself.
Good start to the round here for Oxygen, trying to rebound. Like you said with CCTV, especially in stage 1 of this year. It was a site that got abandoned for the most part. It was bar and stage that everyone across the world seemed to agree was a more reliable bomb site, one that you could win off of a little more often than CC. But as you said as well, here in stage 2, it's starting to make its return. And it has actually had a decent defensive success rate in its return. Just again, not the same sample size, not the same play rate that we are used to seeing for the last 2 years. You see stuns and impacts now being dumped in to try and burn in towards the CCTV doorway shield. There's one on top red as well that won't be isolated and won't be dealt with here for Oxygen, so tough going as Forrest will be the first one to drop the construction wall open, but again, Ashen peeks his head on up with a supernova and will delete Newers from play. The rush into the bomb site though from Dream removes Hawk from rafters in the plant, going to be attempted from Dream. Faults down below, we'll see this on the Solus. The impact comes out and it'll pull him off the plant, do 50 damage, a little bit more with the P90, but unable to collect the kill. And now Ashen having to swing full bore. The jump out from J9, he gets 2 though. The diffuser's on the ground. This went from impossible to doable. The plant being reattempted from Fish. Now J90 on the retreat has a 1v1 against Yaga. Inside of the rafters, a beautiful shot from J90. It's 3 on the round. The plant gets completed and the shotgun out from J9, but Fish, he will clutch it up. J90 drops Fish to 1 HP with the super shorty, and he falls just short of a miraculous round once again.
It was actually down to 1 HP. That could have gone either way. These shotguns are doing so much work in the rounds, and it's not just one shotgun, it's all of them in these rounds. The ITA, the Supernova, the Super Shorty. In 2 rounds, 3 different kinds of basically shotgun kills. And it really just... Dream did that work by himself. He ran in, got the kill to Catwalk, opened up garage control. Ashen going for the sprint, not even looking at the breach as a 1-speed operator. I feel like it's one of those kind of panic actions where, okay, I'm gonna sprint across, hope my enemy just misses every single bullet, and I get the planter. Where it's like if Ashen swung the breach and killed the person covering, that was Fish, you get the guy who's covering the planter, and then right after, you kill the planter for free. And it's one of those, like, Ashen is a newer player, and I feel like this is one of those things where a more experienced player probably wouldn't make that kind of mistake. It's not a huge mistake to make by any means, but it's one of those very small, split-second decisions where do you gamble the easy play, do you gamble the hard play? Because preying on your enemy being bad is easy. Seeking that play yourself and getting that kill, that's the hard part. Either way, OXG looking good. Dream actually being a support player said, you know what, it's my turn to injury frag. That's the thing about playing Ace. You're kind of like the second support, if you will, whereas Foxy and Thermite, he's gonna be like your real support, the breacher, the planter, the droner. So Dream is gonna get active in these rounds, I can imagine. Fox will take a back seat.
I think again there, like you said, it all comes down to Dream, because OXG doing just about nothing to dissuade anyone from Space Station playing over towards the gym and master side. There were 3 defenders there, a Nitro Cell, little preemptive, blown slightly early as Yago will escape unscathed, and now the Blodgy hatch is opened up for free. Yago would have done it anyway with the sledgehammer, and there's plenty of use in that sledgehammer in a round for Yaga, so no utility saved on the side of Oxygen, but a Nitro Cell taken off the board, only 1 remaining for Space Station now. And again, it's one of those narrow margins where if I had just waited for a little bit longer, I could have been an opening pick once again. The Bandit trick, you're talking about how dominant Bandit's been. He's able to trick off one Selma, but not both simultaneously. So there goes the Jacuzzi wall getting opened up, and for Oxygen, making some good progress around the periphery of the map. But once again, they show no interest, at least for the time being, in entertaining a far side clear in towards CC.
I actually like this playstyle from OXG though, where they try and get all the pieces done first before they risk any action. So whenever action does occur, they've done everything. They cleared the shields, they got the walls open, the windows, etc. And it just means that they can actually risk losing members when they're ready. Whereas some teams, you know, they go for the roam clear, they lose like a vital member like the Flores or the Heart Breacher, and all of a sudden the round becomes that much more difficult to problem solve around. You need the utility on the attacking side, and they get to use them because of this playstyle. Wait a minute.
A nice opener there to start things off, but then it all goes haywire for Oxygen. Luckily for the attackers though, Newers is able to be revived. Hot and Cole still perseveres inside of Cash though. A beautiful shot from Newers as Hot and can't land a single shot, as it really, that's all it would have taken to put Newers to sleep. Oxygen recovering from quite a frantic opening engagement, and now the entry, as you say, for the clear. They have done all of their checklist portions. Fox gonna open up the construction wall. They still have the mirror window inside of Logi looking into construction to deal with. I know, trying to repel any entries into construction from the window, hearing some footsteps above him on the Logi hatch, sees the head and decapitates Dream. The fault in as the mirror gets knifed, but there goes J90 again. 8 kills for the first 3 rounds, and he's still on a roll here. 20 HP Newers is now all that will remain, as now Fox A drops, recovering the diffuser topside. J90 gets all 4 to end the round, and it's Space Station. J90 is on a heater, and he's trying to end this thing in 2 maps.
He's having such a good series here as well. He's always, it feels like he has like OXG figured out on their pushes. He goes to the hatch, instantly flicks the window, knows the follow-up has to be coming from that direction, and it showed us just why Office is such a pivotal area of the map on the gym defense. It's the entire backbone of the bomb site, at least with the master bedroom portion, and it's so hard to clear if you play it correctly. I didn't even realize this till now. J90 just got his 10th kill in the 3rd round off that 4K, and he is not really slowing down anytime soon. He put up at, what, 16 kills I think on Border, that one the distance, and he's just kind of taken that pace, continued it from the beginning of Clubhouse. And this is the thing, when you have a player pop off like this, you gotta give this man whatever he asks for. If SSG gonna attack and J90 goes, you know, guys, I could really, I want to play Blackbeard. Okay, I got this. You say, go for it. Because it's one of these moments where you just enable him to do whatever he envisions. Because when you're having this much success as a player, you got those quote-unquote creative juices flowing. You're seeing things that don't exist, right? Things that you're making up. Are like, okay, I'm going to swing this door, shoot here, get a kill, bang. Things are just aligning for you. And look at the spawn peak. Prove me right, General. Get the kill here. Don't die, please. He spotted out. It's not going to get it. But it applies a lot of pressure now onto XG. By going for these kinds of spawn peaks, slowing them down, okay, they're playing aggressive, guys. Back it up. Drone every area, etc. And they're not done yet. Forrest is hiding inside the corner of kitchen. If he gets droned down with the door or window open, he is completely stuck. but it's been 35 seconds of the round, and Foxy have yet to leave the spawn. He's checking every window, he's checking every door. They're so afraid of the what if. That means that SSG, they're in their heads.
Absolutely. Saw it in the first round with Ashen playing on the Womai on the top of main stairs. Fish is going to have to contend with the castle barricade. He has done some drone work here. Dispatch, and now droning in towards kitchen. Will he check freezer for Forest? He will. And now Forest in a world of hurt. The hatch is not open for him to bail out. Houghton will try and provide support from the base of main stairs as well. And now breach chargers coming out from up above inside of Logi. This is a nightmare for Forest to work out of. This is another situation like we saw on Border where he just wants to play his life and take anyone with him that he can. The collapse coming from Oxygen, but it's taking a long time.
I mean, the train of thought here is positive because he is as good as dead, but last time he traded 1-for-1. If he can do that too here, that's a success for sure. Oh. Good night. I mean, he burned some time, killed some drones, but I'm not sure I feel like that was worth it. There are certain positions on the map where you can reliably stay alive. Kitchen is not one of them. The second the attackers are in office, they'll break the floor apart. You can run out the hallway. Maybe if the hatch was soft or opened up so you could have fallen back, that would have been worth it, so he can like remain alive in the round. But it's also cancelled. His barricades are put down, his bulletproof cannon is put down, he doesn't have any utility left on him, and to make things quote-unquote better, Forrest is 0-2. He hasn't gotten a single kill so far. It doesn't matter if he died in this round statistically, it doesn't change a single thing. 45 seconds though, and this nade, however, changes everything. That's J9O in the grave. That's the man SG they need in this round.
Excellent teamwork coming out from OXG there. Yaga using the EMPs again here will facilitate the frag grenade coming in and taking 50 health off of Ashen, playing the blue mirror as well. But there goes Houghton with the Scorpion, and they're all dying in a meat grinder inside of blue. The last man standing, 4 corpses rest at the foot of the blue stairs. Space station. They eat up the time topside and they grind them down downstairs.
This is the same thing happening again, where it looks like OXG did a great job in the first, beginning of the round. They get opening pick 1, opening pick number 2. It's 5 versus 3, and they have time to work with. But then they just YOLO drop the kitchen and blue hatch, and they don't check the corners. They don't drone it out first. They don't use the utility. It's usually we see those kinds of plays when you're, very desperate, or if you're down 3 versus 5. But look at the timer. 47, they get that second kill. They drop the hatch at 32. They have so much to work with. They have 4 drones. I don't really understand. Even if it's like a 4 versus 2 or 4 versus 1, I still don't think that's the right play to make at this level. You're underestimating SSG if you're making those plays. You're disrespecting them and outright saying, J9O is dead. You can't shoot back now, right? You're a one-man army team, but that's not the case. SSG is their 5-man team with the occasional pop-off player, that right now being J9O, and he was dead in that round, sure. That doesn't mean that Hot and Cold can't shoot back, Ashen can't shoot back, They're still upright. We're gonna see... We're gonna see the glass now. Not with the grenades though, despite the Ana ban. And this is one of those few rounds where you're attacking the bar bomb, so you want a way to plant down the diffuser. Most teams, they play Lamonti or they play the OSAF or the shield coverage. I don't think playing glass with 6 smoke grenades is a bad idea, especially because during the drone phase, you saw that they scouted for a warden, and there's no warden on defense. So these smoke grenades, they will get a ton of value in this round. The only real counter is gonna be the Okai drones from J9O and the Solus gadget seeing where that plan goes down.
Fox trying to lay down some smoke cover topside, and there goes Fox. Ashen able to drop him, but here a fast execute coming out from Oxygen. The plant going down from Dream as he used all 3 Selmas in the first 30 seconds, but the drop through the smoke from Forest is able to stop Dream from planting. The diffuser now rests at the base of the front door. Now Newer's trying to push his way into bathroom in the middle of the site. The phone call ring out, but there goes Forest again, winning out with an MP7. It's now a doubled up man advantage as Fish has recollected the diffuser. You're my son once again, the second consecutive day that Forrest has declared someone in the lobby his progeny.
Damn. I mean, this was a, invest everything into one go kind of strategy, and it failed. I mean, there's still a way for them with half the round to go into the timer, but OXG are investing so heavily into these very few things, and they're being heavily countered. Forrest was 0 and 2 before this round started. Now he single-handedly basically won the round for his team. And it looks like OXG are choosing the easy way out, not really fighting every inch of the map, trying to simplify it. And the simple path is not the best path always.
Nice reaction there from Yaga with the bearing. Diffuser in hand, so there is some potential here with a little over a minute on the clock. Brings it down to a 1v3, so the father of Newers will meet his grave. There's still 3 members standing, though, and J9O standing tall with 10 frags on the map so far. Dog continuously baiting out the plant. He's got to worry about a Solus. One more Echo drone, I imagine. Yep, there it is. The Yokai drone still standing inside a bar will stun Yogg, so now he's got to retreat with the Bearing 9 and try and take a 1v1 over towards Garage. They do have intel onto the Solus, so Fult's not spotting the drone that is pinging him. Wallbang will not connect much. Only 1 or 2 shots hitting through the soft wall onto Fultz, and now you can see everyone for Space Station relocating themselves towards the pool table, trying to make sure that Yogg has no safe haven to plant. Once again attempting for the 3rd time in this round for Yogg, a 4th time for OXG as a whole. But here comes the flank from J9O to get 11 on the map, and he will do so with the counterpart Bearing 9, proving that he's better with the weapon, and Space Station up 4-1.
I hate to declare a game, won, because it's not. You can always come back. We've seen it happen before, whether it's in a single map, whether it's in a best of 3 or best of 5 series. But OHG, they have to significantly step up on this last and final attacking round in the first half, as well as on all the defensive rounds to, I guess, just prove me wrong. Like, I don't feel like they're really awake at the wheel here. They're simplifying things so much that they're playing like year 5 Siege and year 8, and the issue is the game, it advances. Teams, they evolve, players get better, and playing this simple Rainbow Six Siege is not gonna net you consistently good results. I love what they're doing on Border with the Monty, doing a little bit of flexing between the Nomad, the Lion, the Dokkaebi, but then we go to Clubhouse, which is much more structure-oriented, and I just don't see the structure really being there. Or at the very least, the structure that is being shown isn't all that great. Because SSG, they're playing, I would say besides the J9O like phenomenal clutch, I would say they're playing like average, slightly above average rounds for their liking. And then of course they have their pop-off moments. But this is mostly OXG just playing kind of subpar Siege. I mean, the double basement hatch drop panic into just like to death essentially. I don't know, I'm not sold on this. They see a second take here in CCTV, same setup from defense, the same shields, the same bandit, most of the same operators. This is where XG, especially after a tactical timeout, they gotta show us something. That they're not out of this, that they can get this like 4-2 or 2-4 scoreline and still be in it. And also for themselves and their own sake, get some more confidence into themselves, because this is not it.
And you got to remember as well, even though this is the one bomb site that OXG has been successful in attacking, they were a super shorty, one more pellet connecting onto Fish away from being up 5-0. It did require J9O to pull off nearly the most miraculous comeback we've seen in a round so far today. Although, actually, Vert probably takes the cake for the first series on that particular award. Nonetheless, J9O required some heroics, but he nearly done it. So for CCTV, this may be an opening for Oxygen to, as you say, get that second round, the all-important round, to keep a respectable 4-2 But as you say, if it ends up being 5-1 at the end of this, Fish will make his ascent up the main stairs. And I know with that super shorty in hand once again against Fish, we're just talking about the previous time those weapons and players were involved. Legion Mine will alert Fish to the presence. And I think right now for Space Station, if you're getting the 5-1, you're 2 rounds away from icing the series and setting yourself up very swiftly with Mirage in the finals. You don't want this to be going to Chalet after being victorious on map number 1.
Oh, you want to pursue that energy, but Fish, he's patient and it pays off. It's a 1-for-1 trace though, not favoring either side, but Ashley might find one more. Subino with a hand on the corner. That barrel might stick out if he sticks it too far in. Ooh.
Yeah, that is the problem with running suppressors on things like the TCSG and the Supernova, is that they just extend so far out that they're in the middle of the door frame, so you have to look away. Now Ashen taking fire from the gym window, and again, just like Forrest had previously. He's going to try and persevere. He's going to try and hold out on his bunker and just take as many with him as he can. Flashbang comes in, but there goes Houghton on the swing. We'll drop one from the balcony. Then Ashen gets another one with the supernova. You've got to be kidding me. Fox will at least get two, but Forrest will shut it down. Oxygen cannot clear an Echo on 40 HP inside a gym without suffering extreme casualties. And SSG, like I said, 2 rounds away from a date with Mirage.
The entire round on a CCTV defense ended in jacuzzi, master bedroom / gym. And it looked like it was that same story like you mentioned. Oh, it's Forrest in kitchen over again. But when Forrest was in kitchen, he was alone, isolated, no backup. Ashen had every single member covering something. Run out in garage, got the guy in the window. The cover and connector window jump in and master bedroom jump in as well. Ashen even got the injure onto Buck who pushed from the breach, and everyone died around that. SSG with a phenomenal couple of defenses, OSU some weak attacks. Things now change. First half is in the books. See the scoreline 5-1 for SSG. And speaking of the SSG roam strat when this game started in the first round, we will see OXG use the SSG roam strat. The castle barricades is gonna compartmentalize the bar situation and the connector window. The mute jammers and Mussipes, they go upstairs in like master bedroom, gym, office, etc. to try and make it difficult for the attackers to drone it out. And the strength about this strategy is that you can do all of this setup and then everyone sprints back towards the bomb site. The attackers don't know if you're roaming or not because of those jammers and the Mussipes. But you also do this entire setup, stay top floor, and actually have a roaming presence. But the thing is, doing the SSG roam strat against SSG, sure not the exact same roster, but the orc and some of the players still, like Hot and Cold for example, and Folds. Not sure how that's gonna work. They should have it figured out. You see them right now focusing on the CCTV side, they see the bandit, so they know that jacuzzi is gonna be the main area that they want to target. So they're gonna EMP, if they need to, open up the jacuzzi wall, drone that out, and just kind of go step by step.
Well, Ashen making a surprise entry downstairs as well, and it seems like the bandit has now pulled off. Indeed, Yaga retreating back towards the top of main stairs, and Houghton has made his entry into Logi. There's 2 there for him. He'll grab Newers, not knowing that Yaga's still there. The vault into the gym window will down off Yaga, so the SSG roam getting picked apart by Space Station themselves. And now Fish debating an ascent up red stairs to try and jump in and trade out what he can. Still holding the top of red, trying to catch someone for Space Station off guard. This is the potential of match and series point on the line for Oxygen, and they have a 3v5 to work out of.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Perfect read from SSG. I wonder why. And Fish gets caught looking the wrong way, looking for that drone. This is basically as flawless as it can get. I know that Hot and Cold just died, but I mean, this surely should be the round over. OSG, they gotta lash out. If they fall back towards the side, what do you do? Unless Space Station, they pull an Oxygen and drop down a hatch with 4 members looking the wrong way, I don't see a way out here. No C4 from Foxy, no health from the bar. Dream is playing Castle, terrible with an EMP. So the side is not really safe. You got a minute to work with. Decision making time, OXG. Space Station, they're closing in.
Well, it seems like Fox is going to be left on just slightly above 20 HP to hold the site, as Dream will be going for the flank of Dreams. Into Lounge now, making his way into stock. The hatch being opened up, and he'll get 1. He'll get not even 2. He won't even secure the first one onto Forrest. So it's a 20-ish HP Foxy alone on the site, holding inside of Church on the right side of the Moto door in a 4v1. The good news for Fox, 3 of the SSG attackers are severely low on HP, so the shotgun and the SMG-11 could do some significant damage. The problem? No nitro cell in hand. The first drop into Moto, and here comes the swing. He'll get 1 and drop the diffuser. A second taking aim in towards Blue, but he has to reload, hitting the deck. Ashen will rip apart the chairs, the table, and Foxy's rotting corpse, and it's match point and series point for Space Station.
There we just see what disaster it is to be SMG-11 in like 1v4 clutch. You don't have the bullet capacity to go for those kills unless you get clean one-tap headshots. But also, what could have been with the Dream flank inside a lounge into stock. I mean, the 3k collateral basically lined up for him, but again, he had the worst gun in the game to get that kind of job done. He gets the injure, second player down to 1 HP, and the third player down to a half HP. If he picked up 2 or 3 of those kills, I know Fox is very low on HP, but he sets up the very realistic possibility of a clutch attempt. Doesn't happen though. SSG are on match point. If they end up winning this map and taking this series, they're very happy because they can preserve some energy for their next best of 3 against Mirage. No XG though, they're gonna fight it out, of course, it's not over. They don't think it's over, not just yet. They're gonna change things around, I think, for the better. They're gonna go for a more turtle-oriented bomb set setup. We can see that because they're playing the Asami, the Mira, the Warden, and the Jaeger. Very big indicators that they're gonna play on the side, or nearby the bomb site at least, and fortify those positions, and try and play for that 5 versus 5 execute. So this is one of those classic, if the attackers do it well, we should see the attack win. If they can pick apart those crucial positions, deal with the mirror windows, etc., you'll be fine on the attack. If you fail to deal with that, or if you're too slow at roam clearing, so you don't have time to actually go through those motions of clearing stuff out, that's when defenders they start winning these kinds of rounds.
Oh, J9O inches away on a pre-fire with some intelligence in the immediate retreat. I believe from Newers, yes, into blue. Down to about 60 HP to start things off. So J9O still riding a heater on match point and series point. This is backs against the wall for Oxygen. It's been mentioned a few times that I imagine this is the perfect time to bring it up once again. This is not only Atlanta on the line for Oxygen, but 6 Invitational as well. They currently sit in 40th in the global standings points. There are no other opportunities to acquire points other than this LCQ and then the Atlanta Major. Oxygen, with their backs against the wall for the rest of 2023 and the beginning of 2024, they have to persevere in these rounds. They have to overcome some insurmountable odds, really, as SSG have 5 more chances at the very least before it even gets to overtime. This is a good spot to be in for Space Station.
Certainly is. They're making quick pace, droning out the strip area of the map while getting the hatches. Jano under fire by 2 members. Surely he doesn't fight this. He walks backwards. Yep, good boy. Again, no matter what player this is, you don't want to lose a player early in the round on attack, because if he dies, the blue flank is open up. You want to get to that 5v5 bombs that execute phase if you're SSG right now, and you're still going through the second stage of this round, the setup. Opening up the hatches, droning out the side, and choosing, is it going to be a kitchen hatch execute, a church attack, for example? With this church wall opening up, it's going to be a church take.
And Ashen able to make his way in immediately to Moto with Forrest, who has Case. Pushing to Moto here. Newer's taking more damage inside of blue as J9O is facilitating the pinch from the back of blue stairs as well. Hitting the deck there, and again, Newer's on 1 HP, just trying to survive the onslaught from Space Station. Yaga turning around, Fultz taking damage in the process as well, but Dream will be the first to fall. Newer's, though, able to reject Force's entry into the bomb site with the diffuser, so it now rests on the floor. A 2-man hold in blue, still living out here as Yaga will collect J9O, sprinting through the bomb site. Ashen will fall. Fultz taking damage against the church wall as well. OXG providing a good fight back here. Still an opportunity for Space Station as things slow down. 25 seconds on the clock. Otten taking some damage now and will be felled ultimately by Yaga. Now playing against the Mira. Yaga with a superstar performance from inside of blue on the Mira saves Oxygen momentarily.
It's a good hold by OXG, but a sloppy round from Space Station. Sprinting in the bomb site, looking in all the wrong directions, not dealing with the mirror window, and also just not really, I think, opting to plant the right position. They're trying to go for that left side of the breach black box panel to plant by, when the mini bar was significantly safer to deal with. Maybe they're fearing a C4, an impact grenade, either way. They tried to get in the right position, they couldn't quite get there, and J9O, because he was so low on health from that earlier engagement, he didn't really have enough health to be set up for success on the blue side of things, because he was completely alone. If he had full HP, there's a much higher chance that he finds success, as he's fighting multiple members, of course, both Newers and Dream inside of blue. But this is the thing, SSG can lose the following 3 rounds, and it's still regulation. They get the 4th, then it's 7-5. So at worst right now for SSG, they lose 4 rounds in a row, they go into overtime, and then we'll see what happens. OXG, they gotta pull out some incredible defenses here, and have great mid-round adaptation to deal with the various problems that SSG throw their way. And I will say last round, they did that. But on CCTV, you gotta go to jump a bar after that. It's not gonna get any easier for them.
And after an incredible statistical stage from Yaga in the absence of Newer's dominance, at least in group stage, Yaga's had a bit of a slower performance at the end of the Karn & Co game and here against Space Station. So what a time for him to come alive, getting 3 on the round, I believe, if not 4. So a perfect time to come to life. You would have liked it a little bit earlier, but better late than never, honestly. Still with their backs against the wall for every single round here in regulation. Diffuser gets left onto the platform here as Space Station have designs and taking over towards the far side, entertaining a clear into Master and Jim as opposed to the Oxygen philosophy. And again, Hot exercising some patience will avoid Yaga's Nitro Cell. So that's the only Nitro Cell at the availability of the defense taken away early. Now everyone for Space Station amassing on the roof and looking to be going for that far side clear.
C4 is one of those risky ones where if Yaga gets the kill, great, you build that early advantage. But now if it comes down to the bomb site, you don't have any plant deny besides the toxic base from Dream and maybe Soul is where he is during that moment in the round. But it's a risk worth taking because you're fighting tooth and nail. Dream, the support player, the backbone, finding kills last round and this one as well. Traded by Ashen onto Yark instead. Valcams will still stay up and you still spot out the attackers. Forest already breached the walls, I believe, so it's not a huge loss for Space Station necessarily. They should still be good for this round.
And it was Newers playing inside of Jim, who lost again almost 80 health in the engagement, trying to challenge onto the jacuzzi wall, but he'll bail out and drop downstairs, lay in wait for a potential flank, most likely in tandem with Fish's intel on the Solus. So still in a very good position here, losing Yaga, but like I said, he already used that Nitro Cell, the impact tricks coming out over the construction wall, as Faults will again try and open up the construction wall to Selma's destroyed. Newers still down below, ready and waiting below the construction hatch. You can see for Space Station just taking a breather. They are able to open up a peek hole on the construction wall, but that is not traversable at the moment. Space Station, their only entryways into the bomb site for now are the platform, where no one is at the moment, or in through the CCTV window or the cache door.
It's going to make life a little bit harder. It's going to come down to the entry fights here, I think, for Space Station. They got that one call in the part of J9O. So once he pushes up, get on the platform, make the call, do a 3, 2, 1 countdown, and in Space Station game will go. If they win their fights, they might get the round. However, if they lose them, Dream and Fish holding down that top red position, that's going to be the round favoring OHG for sure.
And as well, not displacing Foxay from the rafters. Newers taking a little bit more damage, as is Foxay. There goes the vault in. Ashen will lose the fight. Dream will win out as well. Newers, everyone for Oxygen getting involved. Faults pushes his way into Cash and is able to get one onto Fox. Spraying again at the red pings on the opposite side of the server wall. And he will miss the shots once again. Dream with a fantastic round. Seems like the smoke players in every round for Oxygen need to come to life. But Oxygen stacking back-to-back defensive wins.
And this is why having a really solid foundation of support players is so vital to a strong team. Dream has been putting up phenomenal numbers ever since the side swap, where he's playing in very important positions, playing that very crucial role of smoke, staying alive, using toxic babes, but also shutting down the entries. It was Dream getting that early kill, the opening onto Forest. It was Dream shutting down one of the 2 players going in towards the bomb site doing the execute, and it was Dream getting the final kill of the round as well. So he's holding down the fort, and yeah, he's playing smoke, but this is the job of smoke players, especially on Clubhouse. You're gonna be in the battle almost every single bomb site because you're playing on the site. It's where attackers are gonna come for you. Most rounds on Clubhouse as a map doesn't really come down to the roam. Maybe 1 or 2 people will die. That's the average. It's not supposed to play out the way it did when we saw Ashen play inside a gym when SSG were defending, where the entire round ended on the roam. That's not always the case. When SSG, they go through these motions of the standard isn't working, playing very structured, very methodical. They like to do what they're showing us right now. All of a sudden, they say, we've been playing slow and predictable, and now they're gonna hit you with the 1-2 fast one. Whereas like the Blitz, the Capital, that's going to be the Chaos effect, right? The entries. Then you got a Hot and Cold probably sneaking about, looking for a flank on the nuke as well. He's got that drone inside a bar downstairs. That's going to be his entry path most likely. Before we get to the fun part though, of course you gotta breach some walls and drone some parts of the map, etc. and do some utility game here. You can't just rush in the building without any setup. But when SSG they deem themselves ready, when they got all the things that they want in place, they will go for a phenomenal, fantastic, beautiful possibly, or a very messy, fast execute.
Like we said, SSG, they've lost the last 2 rounds, but they only need 1, and the series will be over. And what a time to bring out the blitz. The EMP onto the jacuzzi wall. Houghton has made his way in down below, and here comes Forrest on the sprinting blitz, getting cut to pieces, trying to vault, but Fultz has his cover. Fultz with 2 into the bomb site now, and it's a swarm into logistics. Everyone on oxygen is falling. Good fight back here from Foxay, but it's just Fox and Yogg stuck inside of construction, trying to hold out. Forrest eating the bullets, but Fultz getting the plant down, and both OXG defenders stacked back to back, trying to take on the shield. Forrest down to 1 HP. Here comes the shotgun that has let down OXG so many times on border in this series. The SMG gets pulled out instead. The flashbangs go pouring in. Everyone for Space Station backing off, knowing all they have to do is kill the clock on this to have a day with Mirage. Foxay is down. Space Station clean sweep it with the blitz execute, and they will play Mirage in 1 best of 3 for a spot in Atlanta.